Parsha Ki Tisa. When Moshe descended from the mountain, holding the luchot that God wrote with his own hands, Moshe's response to seeing the golden calf seems instinctive and spontaneous. He smashed the luchot. Perhaps motivated by frustration or possibly to be instructive and demonstrative, casting aside the luchot written in God's very own hands was sending a strong message of disapproval and disappointment. But there's a stronger, more potent and resonant message embedded in this episode. In fact, it was far from spontaneous and more profound than the message of rejection or regret. The JKHA, 19th century Talmudist and scholar, who also wrote a landmark commentary in Maimonides called the Or Sameach, explains that Moshe's unilateral decision to break the luchot that God wrote teaches us about devotion and dedication to God. Moshe's dramatic and what must have been shocking response was not audacious or disrespectful to God. It was premeditated, deliberate, and controlled. He grasped the underlying deficit in the people's concept of God. As the Torah describes, after waiting for Moshe to descend from the mountain and they began to feel his absence, the people were overwhelmed by fear and the prospect of being leaderless, disconnected from God. Their trust in Moshe was misguided and misplaced. He wasn't just a leader. For them, he was a medium to reach God. He was a replacement for the lack of a visible, tangible, corporeal entity. Moshe's absence necessitated they glom onto a new model of belief, an anchor that would hold them steady. Moshe was just a means to an end. The moment Moshe was informed about the creation of the golden calf, he understood that a strong action needed to be taken. Smashing the luchot was not an act of defiance or desperation. It was a way of demonstrating to the people that there is no medium to reach God. He reasoned that if they were to worship him, they could also worship the luchot, and the prospects of a replacement God would continue. He needed to break the luchot to show that the tablets had no intrinsic value without the people's sincere and true belief in God. By turning away from God, Moshe demonstrated that the luchot reverted back to their original state, just stones. He wasn't smashing a holy object or negating God's creation. He was casting down an inanimate relic. People create kedusha. They create holiness, not things and not leaders. Judaism is not about the leader or even the one who brought down the Torah. To further his educational messaging, when the dust settled on the incident, he moved his tent outside of the community. His distance was a demonstration. It was as if he was telling the people they needed to find independence from him and seek God not through an intermediary, but through their inner belief, and develop it constantly through Torah study and mitzvah performance. Moshe's heroic decision to break the luchot was commended by God, according to the Talmud. JKHA asher shibarta. God affirmed that the luchot needed to be broken. But studying the Talmudic words carefully, you won't find that the words actually reference the luchot, but rather the phrase emphasizes that Moshe was correct in breaking. Breaking could either mean the actual physical luchot, or it can mean breaking their misguided and misinformed understanding of religious devotion. No doubt we all need objects of inspiration in our life, whether they be ritual objects reflecting our care for individual mitzvot, or they be ornaments, beautiful synagogues, or even Torah scrolls. But Judaica and Torah scrolls and mezuzot should only reiterate and refocus our personal devotion to God. They are reminders, and they need to inspire us to seek out God, even when hidden. I wish you Shabbat Shalom.